I'll give you 5 essential lessons on how to become a totally different person. Someone who people will start to recognize, someone who people will start respecting, someone who is unidentifiable. The first lesson is having physical determinants. There is a reason why people say going to the gym is the only therapy you need. At first, you'll be hesitant towards it. You will be shy and insecure. It happens to all of us. In grade 11, I reached a peak of 260 lbs. Now that's a lot of weight for someone who wasn't trying to make it into the NFL. You're giving an interest towards it, and you'll start to enjoy it more. Start thinking of it as a hobby rather than a burden, and you'll be able to start changing your physical lifestyle. I came back to school in grade 12 at 210 lbs and immediately started getting different types of attention because you'll understand that you will start getting treated differently. Now that was a while ago, and today I still stick to my gym routine daily because it's helped me in more ways than I can count. The second lesson is becoming socially unavailable. Yes, stop going out, stop snapping people, stop commenting on Instagram posts, just stop it all. Do you ever wonder why you enjoy doing all that stuff? It's because you're releasing dopamine, and dopamine can be very dangerous when it comes to social media. You get carried away from more important stuff, and next thing you know, it becomes a habit that is hard to stop. So understand when I say this, it's for your own good. If you find yourself constantly being on social media and interacting with all these platforms, you are no different than the rest. I have so much going on in my life, and I realized that deleting social media was the best decision. I was in about 5 different group chats where they just talk and talk all day long. I don't want to talk. I need to get stuff done. So why would I make time for them if all they do is go on their phones and have the need to update us on what they're currently doing? It's pathetic that I even stayed in that group chat for that long. Now, if you actually say that you want to change for the better, you better stop doing all the stuff the average person does, because you're not average. Right now, you're below average, but that'll change. Soon, you'll be above average. Now, you don't need to delete social media forever, but having a mental reset is so important if you want to change, so stay off it for 2-3 months, or until you feel ready again. Remember, everyone is different. You may not want to become someone who people didn't even recognize, and just do certain things in your life that will change you, and that's fine. I want the best for you. I'm able to tell you all these tips and lessons because I've experienced it and benefited from it. So if you think you're already physically strong, then skip that lesson. If you think you're not mentally strong, then maybe listen and delete social media. Either way, you want to change for the better, so do it. You carefully listened to 2 essential lessons, which, let's be honest, you already knew, but hearing it sometimes helps, which is okay. I'm going to go more into depth now with the next 3 lessons because they are the ones that make the biggest differences, especially the last one. The third lesson is being dominant. Let's say you're walking into a room full of strangers, and as you walk in, people turn their attention to you. Are you going to keep your head down and keep walking? Or are you going to be dominant, have your head straight up, and make eye contact and continue walking? Yeah, I figured it was the first scenario. It was the same for me if that makes you feel better. Being dominant has so many benefits to it, but it's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone. I was an introvert all my life growing up. I was never one to take action or speak up when I had ideas. It made me weak and a walkover, which didn't feel good. I had enough of letting people become the dominant figure in my life. It's my life, why am I letting other people take control? You don't change now, you never will. And you'll be that guy working a 9, 5 in a cubicle desk. And the only dominance you will show is to the numbers on the paper you're going to be calculating. So this is clearly a problem that needs to be dealt with, so pay attention and listen carefully. The only way you can be dominant is by getting out of your comfort zone, so that means doing things you would never have the guts to do before. Go get that girl's number. Go and make conversations with random people. If you're at the gym, tell someone, "Hey, your physique is amazing, man." Or next time a teacher asks for a volunteer, raise your hand. It comes down to understanding one thing, which is that it simply does not matter. You're not going to see these people ever in your life again, so why not walk with confidence and show dominance? You'll not only gain confidence, but you'll also be able to hold conversations because of all that time talking to strangers, you will subconsciously start to hold conversations. So really, by trying to be more dominant, you're gaining confidence and social skills, which is a win-win. The fourth lesson is being less emotional. Let's take David Goggins as an example. I'm sure you've come across his videos that show how he is just a different breed than us. He doesn't bring emotion into anything, which is a big reason why we all look up to him, because he isn't an emotional person. Unless there has been a death in the family, you have no reason to be a little baby who needs his pacifier in order to control his emotions. Come on, don't bring emotion into anything that doesn't need it. I would always bring emotion into everything, not getting my way for everything and making a fuss about it, or getting upset because something didn't go my way, so I start acting sad so I can get attention. Man, I was pathetic. Don't be the same as me. Become better and more mature. If you want to start becoming more mature and less emotional, it's simple. Just really think long and hard about how your friends always act. Could you tell that they're just trying to get attention? Before I tell you some examples from my life, be aware you will find it very cringe. During class, my friends would always start talking, making jokes, stealing people's phones, to the point where the teacher would have to stop them. But that didn't stop them. Then every time they did it again, they would start looking around, trying to find people's reaction. Honestly, I was debating on even typing that out because I still can't get over it. That was because they show emotion and because they're just idiots. Using emotion in unnecessary events just shows lack of maturity. If you're trying to start a business and it's not going your way, are you going to get upset and quit? If you're unhappy with your body, are you going to get angry? Because it's your fault it happened, and showing emotion won't solve it. Hopefully by now, you understand that showing emotion is pointless and dramatic. There is not a step-by-step solution on how to become less emotional. It's simply something you have to acknowledge something on your own, like how I did. Now I hardly ever show emotion if I don't need to. Some may think that's not a good thing, but out of my friends and I'm the most successful. There's a reason for that. So you need to give yourself a long, honest reflection towards being emotional and think how it made you as a person and how others view you as. Do you want to be seen as the dramatic one? Or being seen as someone who cries about everything if they don't get their way? I didn't think so. So start evaluating yourself and realize that the sooner you become less emotional and more mature, the better. So far, in order to become an unidentifiable person, becoming physically strong will make the most noticeable difference. Becoming socially unavailable is just another way to escape reality. Being dominant will make you more respected, and becoming less emotional changes your personality for the better. Now, the last lesson that will make all these steps truly work effectively is by becoming silent. In my last video, I discussed how working in the shadows is the only effective way to make progress, because you simply just can't be talking and talking about what you're trying to accomplish, because the majority of the time, nothing ever happens. So becoming silent and implementing all these steps will make you an unpredictable person. Think about it. Let's say summer is coming up, and you decide to take the 3 months to become different because you're not satisfied with your current self. So then after applying all these steps, you come back to school, where people want to know what happened to you because you decided to stay off social media. You look more fit, you don't give emotion, and you're more mature than your friends, as well a dominant figure. So then you genuinely become an unidentifiable person who no one can seem to figure out. It's the perfect way to gain that charisma that people are curious about. So that's why becoming silent is the only effective way to become an unidentifiable person. So you learned 5 essential lessons today, and I expect you to start changing for the better. Once again, I state this every time at the end, because I need you guys to really understand me. This is all from my experiences alone. I don't need to get information online, because it's all in my head. I have so much more to offer still, and I know you guys will benefit from it. As well, if you guys let me know in the comments some of the struggles you may go through, I will try my best to make a video on it and relate to it in one way or another.